Live. Hello! It is us, the Some Other Heroes. Hello, welcome to Some Other Heroes. My name is Chris. It is very good to have everybody here today. This is a bit of a big episode. This is our final episode in the Appearing Isles story arc, and very excited to see what this lot do to try and get themselves out of it. But before we jump into that, we got a couple of bits of admin, like just going to get through as a normal basis. The first being, I will introduce you to my wonderful players. So starting with Charlie, who is here.
Hi, I am Charlie. I use she, her pronouns. I am an illustrator and writer and lecturer and big nerd and dreading what's going to happen in this session because Aisling/Charlie is wholly unprepared.
We're going to go counterclockwise as you guys see it on screen. So, Wayne, would you like to go next?
Sure. Hi, I am Wayne Fick. I am an art director and a branding coach and designer, and you can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet under WayneFick01. My pronouns are he, him, and I am playing the ever so down-to-earth and quiet Dragonborn Rock.
Fake news.
Also, we were supposed to lie during this intro. Okay, my bad.
Oh yeah, the other true thing is that I am wholly confident that our party is totally equipped for combat.
Okay, we are lying. All
right. Theo, quickly dissipate this awkward situation.
Save us.
Hello, I am
Quick lie, Theo, lie.
I am an illustrator. That's not a lie, it's true. And I use they, them pronouns, and I will be playing the suave and sophisticated and charismatic, super prepared wizard Eugene.
Jock.
Yeah.
Jock
ripped,
wizard.
Absolutely ripped.
And finally, our very special guest through the latter half of this story arc, the wonderful Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I use she, her pronouns. I am also an illustrator, and I'm playing Skia, a super intelligent, forward-thinking tiefling.
I have no idea where this came from, but I love it. It's absolutely amazing.
It's great.
God help anyone who's watching for the first time. They'll be like,
yeah, sorry about
nothing
it.
Like they said.
Wait, what?
I am Chris, as I said at the top of it. I am an illustrator, a DM, a general all-round geek, and I am everybody else that they come across as the DM and general storyteller. One more bit before we leap in. We have a very exciting announcement for you all. Starting the first Sunday in March, we will be going weekly. That's right, every single week from that point onwards. So there'll be a week's break as normal until the beginning of March, and then from the 6th of March, we will be here. Now, obviously, life happens. Sometimes people will need to step away or things, but we will keep you updated as to any changes that we need to make as normal. What I've said to people is their lives come first, but we very much would like to tell this story to you on a more regular basis, and we're very excited to be doing that with you. I think that's everything. So is there anything I've forgotten? I don't think so. In which case, we should jump in to today's episode. Previously on Some Other Heroes, our three friends were hired by the mayor of Cloud's Cairn, Rebecca Ryder, to investigate a mysterious appearing island. Upon arriving at the island, they found it sealed away behind a thick cloud of roiling, smoky dust that kind of created like a barrier between the world and the island. They slipped through the barrier onto the world, onto the island, finding themselves in a completely alien place. They met several individuals, finding out that their memories had been stolen, and piece by piece, through strange encounters with bizarre dreams, frightening, twisted versions of fey creatures, and interactions with various members of the people who were left on this island, they discovered that the island was in the thrall of 3 ancient beings, 2 dragons and a fey god. They were joined by the rambunctious and colourful skier at the town of Vesherin, and proceeded to try and piece together what they would need to do to free this island from the terror that happened. They met one of the dragons and his daughter, an ancient mithril dragon called Parshkik, posing as a dwarf called Oliver de Vere. And through an agreement with this dragon, they have been set upon the task to mediate with the other dragon to try and free the island and defeat the Elder One, this ancient fey god, once and for all. The 4 of you stand in a mind palace, a place created by the memory of the dragon who is hosting you. This ancient, huge, grey-silver being with sharp-bladed wings and cat-like features. Ivrenut stands before you. Welcome to my mind. What you see is a memory of what I used to have before my imprisonment. He kind of motions to the kobolds. Please do not mind my little ones. They are industrious but harmless. I believe you and Parshkik are here to talk, and I am willing to listen. Behind you, Oliver, back in his dwarven form, stands and bows, and I'd like to introduce my friends, and kind of grabs Aisling and kind of just gently moves her forward. This is Aisling, and this is Rock, Eugene, and Skia. And the 4 of them have already been very instrumental in trying to solve some of the problems around here, and I trust their judgment. We both have an argument here. We'll present it, and they will try and convince you. Is that fair? The dragon nods. This huge head, about the size of a cart, just kind of like looking at you, these very intelligent grey eyes. Very well. The creature known as the Elder One, the Fey being the AL, is not some demon to be put down. It is an elemental force, and there is no way we can be certain that releasing it means we can stop it. I propose, with a heavy heart, the only safe way is to destroy this little domain we have created, removing it from the world entirely and destroying it, that creature, once and for all. That is my argument. Oliver steps forward. My proposition is that this creature has been feeding on the memories of those around. It's a tiny meal that it's had to sate itself for over 500 years now. Time has worn it down. Even though it's physically imposing, 2 dragons as powerful as we are, although we are tired and with limited magic, should be more than enough with our allies' help to bring it down and lay him low once and for all. So, that is my argument. And as you can see, the two of us have been arguing about this for a long time. Both points have merits, both are points of passion. What do you four believe? I think he just looks at you, so it's up to you guys if you want to step forward or whether you're going to wait until you're prodded in the ribs.
Ashling's gonna wait.
So how we're going to do this is kind of like a social combat encounter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask each of you to kind of step forward, debate your point and what you've done or what you've seen that believes that one argument is better than the other. And based on what you put forward, you can choose a skill. And if I believe that skill is right, I will let you roll against that skill versus an unknown mental armor class that I have put for these two dragons. And if you beat it, you wear down their resolve. Sound fun? No pressure.
Yeah.
Sure. Mind chess with dragons sounds great.
Yeah.
Great band name.
Mind chess with dragons.
I kind of love that.
Skier will step forward just because no one else is. And she's like, I think she's thinking, if I go first and I mess up, they'll forget about it.
Smart.
What's my accent? My accent. No.
How does one skier?
Roll those R's. Roll them.
Roll it.
These dragons are so intimidating that Skia forgot her own accent. I mean, that's
Skia becomes Canadian and presented with these dragons.
Excuse me, Mr. Ivrenut. I understand your concern, but I think you should have a little bit more faith in the people, not only of Rel, but the people of the scattered lands. We have survived this long, and I'm not saying beings like yourself haven't helped that, but I do not think it would be fair for you to decide the fate of the people of Rel without giving them a chance. I am a hunter by trade, and I believe what Oliver says is right. This creature is tired and worn out, and that is when creatures like that are most likely to mess up and weakest, not only physically but mentally. And this will be a mental game as much as anything else. So I beg of you to have faith in the people and have faith in us that we can do this. And she does like a really deep bow. Thank you.
Awesome. What is your argument based on?
It's a stretch, but I would like to argue survival of just knowing and understanding people like that inside, not only creatures but people.
I'll allow that. I think that's a good one for Skia.
Thank you. Okay, I'll roll it. Oh, okay. That's an 11.
11?
Well.
11 is not terrible. It's not great, but it's something.
Well, you know what? I went first, so it doesn't matter.
Also,
no one will remember.
Also,
I won't hold them up.
Yeah. If you've got physical dice, you are more than welcome to use them, by the way. I know that you've been having problems with digital dice of late.
It's all dice. They all hate me.
Oh.
Dear. He looks at you and he bows his head in return. It is also true that creatures like that are at their most dangerous when they are desperate. If we fail to hold it in place, to destroy it while we can, it will be the scattered lands that you mention that would suffer. That is my fear. Who would like to go next?
Rock nudges Eugene forward.
Oh, Eugene will remember that.
Everybody hated that.
Eugene kind of stumbles forward and then rights himself.
Rock just looks at Aisling and goes, "Well, he's very clever."
Hopefully he can just do it and we don't have to.
All right, the pressure. Come on, stop. He can hear you.
Oh yeah, we're not quiet, are we?
Yeah.
I agree with Skier's position, and I know that you agree with us somewhat too, and I know that you care about the people of this island, and that's why you want to end it for them. I understand that, but things are different this time, and we have more people, we have more knowledge, and the people of this island have been working all this time to find ways to continue. And I think that we have to try. We have to. And I know that there's part of you that agrees. And how can we even be sure that destroying the island will fix it? Maybe that could make it worse. Maybe destroying the island and the people on it and you two, then what do we do if the god gets out? We won't have you to help us. So I know I understand that you're anxious and you're just trying to do what's best, and that is a big responsibility. But I think we have to try, don't we? And I would like to use insight.
Ooh, interesting.
Because I think Eugene, because of the conversation they had previously, he knows that he's sad about this and he has regret. So I think he would try to appeal to that part of him.
Chris, quick question. Are we able to cast spells where we are in this Mind Palace?
Yes, you can. Well, particularly the sort of spells that you're thinking of. What are you thinking of?
So I am going to cast whatever it is, Owl's Wisdom, enhance ability on Eugene.
I will allow that retroactively because I didn't really give you much chance to kind of prep before you jumped into this, so I'll allow that. I'll say that
That's the least you can do for pushing me.
That was the whole plan. As I pushed you, I cast the spell on it.
Maybe it was a contact spell.
I have to touch a creature to cast it, so that was why I did it.
Mm-hmm,
So you can make an insight check with advantage.
Okay, cool. That's a dirty 20.
Nice. Very nice. Also, that was a beautiful speech, so take a point of inspiration.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
2 left.
I think Aisling's going to go forward. Gingerly. And she sort of steps away from Rock a little bit so Rock doesn't shove her forward. Hi. Right. Okay. Okay, yeah. So you said you can't guarantee that this would work, but it also means you can't guarantee that it won't work. And if there's even a tiny bit that can work, I think it's worth a go. Like Eugene said, it's worth a try. And that heavy heart you said that you've got, like, I think really you know that. I think there's a part of you that like really, really knows that, because I used to dismiss all my gut feelings as completely unreasonable. Turns out I'm actually quite smart, and I don't necessarily sound it or act it or, you know, use it, but I give myself a bit more credit now that I've been with these guys. Like, I know that I can do things and I'm capable, and I can trust that gut feeling, and I think you should as well. It's worth it. It's worth a go. There's more of us. Even if worst comes to worst, the AL gets out, you should see the forces that are on the scattered lands. Like, you should see them. They're fierce. All right, we can sort this out. We should start now where we're strongest instead of wait till we're weakest.
What would you like to roll to persuade Ivrenut?
Either perception or insight, and I've got the same modifier on both, so I'll let you decide.
You choose.
This
This is all down to you.
Eugene did insight, so let's get them from all angles. I'm going to do perception.
I think that seems to fit, because Eugene was appealing directly to his sense of self, whereas you're talking about what you've seen in the world as a whole. So that feels fair.
Okay, cool. Also, who gave me inspiration so I know which dice to use?
I think
if you got a point of inspiration from me, you can roll with advantage if you burn that inspiration.
Oh, okay. I don't know who gave me inspiration last time.
Yeah, no, I think it was Chris, because mine didn't last that long.
I believe that you and Rock have got a point of inspiration you've been holding on to for a while now. So I will let you.
All right, so I've got advantage on this then.
You've got advantage on one roll of your choice.
Okay. I'm going to use physical dice because other dice are trash. And it can't get any better because I got a natural 20.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
What's your modifier on? Yeah.
7.
7.
27.
Very cool.
What is up now, dragon?
Is that how you end it?
That's in character. I just duck walk out of there.
I love the idea that Aisling finishes and then is so proud with herself. She just goes, "What is up with that dragon?"
Mic drop.
And that is what is tea for this evening. Ivrenut kind of looks at Eugene and Aisling. It is clear you are both very passionate and believe in the people beyond this island. Do you truly believe they will come to this land's aid?
I know mine will. Definitely.
I think at this point that Oliver kind of leans forward. They've already reached out and asked people to have a look into this for us. We've sent out what we can with help, unexpected help, from someone we thought long ago gone. And kind of have an insight check off of all four of you.
Oh, yeah. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Nice.
22 for Skier.
Blimey.
Nice. 15 for Aisling.
Yep.
8.
You've still got advantage because you are under rock spell.
Good.
Nice.
Oh, that's even worse.
Okay. Eugene's probably slightly, I guess.
That dice can go away.
Yeah, hyperventilating slightly, having just done some public talking. But the rest of you,
yeah, he's still going over it, and he's now just going over everything he said in his head, being like, "Why did I say that?"
Oh god! I so know that feeling. Oh no, I should have said this. Oh,
yeah,
God.
why didn't I say this? I mean, I had a whole page of notes, and I didn't read any of it.
The rest of you, though, you do notice that Oliver kind of catches a glance towards Aisling, but not at Aisling almost over Ashling's shoulder as he steps back.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I mean, that's what I would say if I'd seen it.
Yeah. I still have one more argument to hear.
Save the
Ashling's
best
gonna
till
elbow
last,
rock
right?
forwards.
Shove.
Ashling's like, go on then.
Rock sort of spends the first few seconds sort of straightening his outfit, clearly just sort of killing time because doesn't want to start. And he strikes a pose that he thinks looks brave, and he says in his best voice, "Oh, great dragon, great mighty dragon. Do you know, I had an entire speech written out for this. I was going to say some magnificent things, but honestly, it doesn't really matter what I say right now, because I've realized in the last few minutes that I really don't think that you can say no to taking on this fight. If you look around you, just look at these tiny little mortals. No offense, but Eugene and Aisling and Skia and myself, although obviously connected to the great Song of the Dragons of creation, these people just stepped forward with utter bravery and offered to take on an AL, offered to be part of a fight to save this island that we've been on mere days. If these people, if we are willing to step forward and take that risk to save this island, then surely you too would join us in that. The scattered lands have already been destroyed once. We barely saved ourselves. We started from nothing again, floating in the sky 500 years ago with no idea of what we were doing. But we fought back and we created a new empire, several empires, in fact. We did all of that despite being ripped from the land and thrown into the sky by magic. If we can survive that, then how can we just give up on this island? How can we just give up on these people and give up on the potential that they have to progress and grow and change and learn and develop? If we just walk away now, yes, we may stop the great old one, but we may also just be admitting defeat and showing that we can't fight and we're not willing to fight. And quite frankly, if these people standing next to me are willing to fight, then I certainly am, and I feel like, well, I think you should be too. And I mean that with utter respect, of course, and I'm going to bow deeply. Your greatness.
What would you like to roll?
Charisma.
And what's your skill?
It's persuasion.
Again, persuasion.
Oh boy. I am actually going to use my inspiration just in case.
Okay.
Okay. So with my modifier, that would be a 28.
Yes! Yay!
Amazing.
Phew.
You have given me much to consider, and it is clear that your passion and willingness to fight for these people is much larger than even me. I am swayed, but I need some more information. Who have you reached out to, and what will they bring?
I have summoned great warriors who I am completely convinced of their capabilities and their loyalty. In fact, these are people that I have sailed with and have fought alongside, and are magnificent warriors of all races, I might add, who have offered to join me here without so much as a question. With that kind of loyalty at my side, I feel completely and utterly confident that they will be here and that they will help us win this battle.
I think as you all watch, there is a reflection, like a ripple, and this image sort of slowly appears behind Rock of this beautiful tiefling woman in like a brigand's gear and a large captain's hat, and behind her is the most colorful array of characters you could possibly hope to see. Some of them definitely look like they're more than capable of fighting, but they look more like a circus troupe. But there's skill there and wisdom and kindness. And you get this reflection back off of you, off of this image through Rock, that these are indeed people who would lay down their lives for this island because Rock asked them to. And the image falls down, and the dragon. Not exactly knights and barbarians, but they seem very willing to help.
If I may, we're not fighting great beasts or a typical monster. We are fighting what you called a great old one of the AL. For that, we need people who fight and think creatively, not typical barbarians. Besides which, I think you'll find none of us are typical here.
You can make a persuasion check for me, please.
Oh boy. Okay. That is a 23.
Nice.
God, bards have amazing.
They are charisma monsters.
Modifiers. I have never had a +10 to a roll before. Anyway.
Rogues and bards. Big in the big numbers. And what of you, young satyr?
I called this guy a new one.
I met this guy on a boat.
He's pretty cool.
I called my mate Orhaim. He's real smart, really wise, very protective. Yeah, I can imagine he's well connected, and I felt really safe around him. All right, I felt really safe. He helped me out. We defeated some like spooky shit that went down on a ship. He's good. He's the first person I could think of, so that's who I've called.
So, Rock and Eugene, you've seen this figure before that appears behind Aisling as this ripple again, this kind of distorted reflection. There is a large, very gentle-faced but muscular turtle with a whopping great war mace and plates of armor, rocking a symbol of the sister around his neck, the big embellished sun that comes from holy people. And you guys get this same sense, like he is calm and even and gentle, but will protect the things he cares about. I'd like the three of you to make me a quick insight check at the same time. Not you, Aisling.
Oh,
24.
Nice.
I see
21.
everything. Ooh.
shit.
17.
17. There's an implication, and you're not entirely certain, but you have a feeling that the question was not just directed at Aisling. Whether there was an answer or not, you don't know.
God damn it.
The dragon turns its mighty head and looks at Skia.
Oh, right, yeah, well, now, the bow is not much use if you haven't got any arrows. So I called upon my friends, but like my arrows. I thought this was going to be a really cool analogy, but... Oh, I've gone Welsh!
He's only going to go in Welsh. Cece, is that you?
Sorry, wrong campaign. But these are my friends who I trust with my life and I fight with. And the thing is, they are twins, so they are insanely competitive, and one will not let the other die, which makes things difficult for our enemies.
You see this group of people, not just two, but more than that. A familiar-looking half-elf that you've met with strange clockwork magic dancing around him. Two burly humans, both very tall, one wearing heavy armor and holding like lots of weapons, the other scantily clad apart from some cloth in the right places, chugging a ale beer and leaning on a whopping great stone hammer. And behind them, standing very patiently, a gentle-looking gnoll in plate mail who holds a symbol, a holy symbol to his chest, and looks more ready to heal than hurt. Could you roll me a persuasion check, please? And Charlie, if you could do so as well, please.
Yep.
I think you're right, Lydia. I think Michelle was hoping for some of Cece's charisma.
Yeah, can I just open Cece's character sheet and roll her?
We'll work on that crossover later. What do you get?
Aisling somehow got a 21 by saying that her mate's coming round.
My mate's coming.
Yeah, they're like, well, good.
Excellent.
I met this guy on a boat. He's coming.
Yeah. He'll bring popcorn. Don't worry about it.
And finally, the eyes settle on Eugene.
I called for the great and famous adventurer, Alfred Appleby. He's a member of the Gleaming Sword. They're a famous band of adventurers all throughout the Scattered Lands, and they've faced many situations where the odds are just as slim as the ones we face now. And he also happens to be my father, so I know that he will come.
The image forms behind Eugene of a strong, heavy-set, dark-skinned man wearing gleaming armor, very similar to the mage armor that Eugene casts. And standing beside him is a plucky gnome with grey hair and a very silly pointy hat that he has pushed forward. A dwarf with more explosives on him than like clothes. You just see he's completely covered with these weird and wonderful devices, and a wrangly looking half elven woman with a scar down one side of her face, who has a bow and arrows and knives everywhere. The dragon nods. Can you make a persuasion check for me, please?
I can try.
Yeah.
13.
13. The dragon regards you all quietly and then turns to Oliver. One last push, then, old friend. One last battle to save these people we cared about. And Oliver steps forward, and as he does, he shimmers, and the cavern just seems to grow even bigger. And you can now see the difference between the two of them. Parshkik is probably a good size and a half bigger than Ivrenut. But his head just gently leans down, and the two of them just push together like old friends. My daughter will look into the matter, and she will coordinate the mortals. You and I will concentrate on releasing you first, and then me. Once I am free, we will begin our attack. Ivrenut nods. Thank you. This is the silliest, stupidest thing we've ever done, but I am glad to be part of it. And I am glad to be doing it with you four. And he nods.
What exactly do we do?
Oh yeah, does that mean we've done it?
I think at this point, Parshkik kind of looks at you and just chuckles with this big rumbly sort of laugh. I think my daughter has plans for you. Don't worry, you are not going to have to face him directly.
Okay, good.
We will let you know when we are prepared to strike. Parshkik nods and bows. I will see you all soon. And the vision fades, and you find yourselves sitting in the dining room again with the plush chairs all around you. Countess Sothis is very nearby, and she's just finished making some tea. And she kind of looks up and she goes, well, I have to admit, that was quicker than I was thinking it was going to be. How did it go?
Could I get a drink? Not tea, something a little more. Most welcome.
She motions to a small cabinet. She says, help yourself.
Oh, you may regret that. I'm going to walk over and grab a full bottle of something.
Ooh.
And come back with glasses if anybody else wants. But
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I kind of whisper to these guys, be like, it went well, right?
I think so.
It did. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
I think we would have known if it hadn't gone well. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Sometimes it's good to just assume it's gone well until you see signs that it hasn't.
That's generally what I run with.
Very good point.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it went well. It went good.
Oliver kind of from a chair like an old man waking up.
Morning.
Oh, hello. Yeah, it went very well. It did. You did very, very well, all of you. It was a bit shaky to start with, and there's no shade at Ski.
Oh my God. It's not really my thing. I stab things. I don't talk about things.
But you've kept us alive, so we can talk about things.
But once you all got going, Worse, I have this feeling that Pashkik likes you all. That Ivrenut likes you all, so that's new.
Of course he does. We're very likable.
Yeah, we are adorable. Why wouldn't you like us?
Totally.
That's the first time Ashley's been called adorable. She's like, what?
Oliver gets out of his chair and kind of looks at his daughter and goes, keep me in the loop. I'm off to get some sleep and start working on those bonds. And she smiles and nods and goes, it's like, we've got some planning to do. So, whilst you were busy, a few friends seem to have arrived in town. And I'm gathering them all up. And we're going to talk to the populace. Anyone who is ready. But before that, I don't intend to fight the bitter fear directly. I think it would be suicide for mortals to get that close to this thing when it gets loose. We must leave the fighting to my father and Ivrenut. But
What do we do then?
well, my father is not the only one with allies. And the AL will definitely summon the creatures on this island that it has control over. I think we need to concentrate on protecting the innocent, making sure that there is a populace to survive this. To that end, I am proposing anyone who can fight should fight. Anyone who can't will find sanctuary in this house, which is protected by more wards than anything else in the city. Please, and I can't force you to do this, but please will you help us?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
But I think we're kind of in for the long run now.
Yeah, we can't back out now, can we? Wait, can we?
I cannot make you do this. If this goes wrong, it will be certain death for everyone. But I cannot.
We're currently on an island surrounded by purple mist that was trying to steal our memories. I think we're pretty much in for the fight.
Thank you.
God,
Thank all of
that
you.
is what it is, isn't it?
To this end, and she kind of reaches over and just kind of claps, and you see this similar looking spirit kind of appear next to her. Bring in our friends. The doors open, and in comes a very interesting group of people. You see the enchanter Amberdrew, followed by a very determined looking female Knoll. With her, Odd Bob, and behind them, arguing with the half-orc over who won the last hand of cards, are two thick, muscular humans who you saw a few minutes ago on Skier introduced them, and a slender half-elf who is just rubbing his temples already. I believe that we have some other people coming soon. Valinar, as the Elven Ranger, is collecting his people for me. And Enchanter Amberdrew, you said there were a few mages of some note who might be able to help us. And the Enchanter nods. Yes. I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to this whole house that wasn't there before thing. That's all right, says says the male of the humans, and punches him on the furbolg on the shoulder. You get used to weird stuff when you hang out with Skier.
Oh, hey, room! That is, how do you greet an old friend? And I jump up at both of them to give them a hug.
So,
and
they do.
Skiers, mate. Okay, that makes sense. I thought I was trying to know who they were, but I don't, so it's fine.
Were you going to introduce us or what?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought, oh my goodness, I've forgotten everyone's names. Is Duskgaze with you, or is it just you two?
Duskgaze stayed on the ship.
Okay. That's
because you were not certain how people would receive gnolls.
Yeah, I understand. This is Jaggeth,
Yep.
and this is Mirin.
So the man in the armor holds up at Jaggeth, and the female, she kind of nods at Mirin.
Guys, if you think I'm a good fighter, you should see these two. But these are my new friends. This is Rock and Eugene and Ashley. They're really cool people.
Well, it's very nice to meet you. I shall put my hand out to shake their hands.
I heard a dice.
Take 1 point of hug damage as Mirin doesn't stand on ceremony and just literally brings you in for a bone-crushing hug. It's like, oh, you don't have to be so formal. Your friend of Skiers, friend of ours.
Oh, goody, we're huggers. Great.
Very.
Hug
Remember
damage.
what we talked about. Duskgaze isn't here to fix broken bones.
She puts you down. Oh, sorry, and straightens your jacket, and then.
Perfectly fine, thank you. I mean, it's very nice of you to be so friendly. Skia has been a wonderful, wonderful ally that we have met. We're very appreciative of her being here with us.
She's saved our asses so many times.
She does that, says history.
Yeah.
She's more capable than she pretends to be.
Can we keep her?
I mean, we'd have to talk overheads, and
We'll take really good care of her and take her out and feed her.
and a standard retainer fee. But I'm sure if you've got the money for the contract, then you can keep her.
Oh, money. Okay. I got none of that.
I am a luxury few can afford.
Yes. Oh shit! I just kicked my table in joy.
That table.
So Sophis kind of motions, and you can see there's extra chairs have been brought in, and she sets down for everybody. So my main concern is there are two main entrances into the town. My guard for the town and the rangers who work with us are going to be stretched thin around the town trying to keep everybody safe. I need two groups to protect those areas. My thoughts are dividing these forces to support my forces there, because you are the most capable warriors I've met for a while. 500 years, in fact.
Clearly talking to Skia.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you sell yourself short. I've seen what you three are all capable of.
Warriors may be a bit of a stretch.
We will do what we can to provide you with materials to support you. Any equipment you think that you might need. But yes, if you would agree, I would split your forces. Amberdrew, I will lead to the westernmost gate. And these two said that they want to come with me. Ishri kind of looks at Skia and kind of nods. They'll need someone who has some sort of tactical idea, after all.
Of course, yes.
Which would leave you four on the eastern gate, if that's acceptable.
Okay.
Yes, I think we can manage that.
As I say, you won't be alone. My forces will be arrayed. It's just that there's about 200 people that can fight that I think will be stretched across the whole town. We will need to respond.
Aisling, whilst whilst they're talking, could Aisling sort of start sketching out the tactical plan for this, like a little map of it? Just so she's got an idea of who's going where and what the plan is and that kind of stuff.
I mean, you guys came in through the Eastern Gate, so you've actually seen that. That's where the Fate was set up before. And I think you've seen the Western Gate from a distance, so I think you would know it's very similar sort of layout. Like there's an old guardhouse on each of them, and a walkway across the battlements around the town wall that kind of protects it. If you have
sort of like check to see if she's got everything right, and just be like, "It's so wasted. Who's going where? What's this?" That kind of thing.
I think Jagif kind of leans over your shoulder whilst you're doing that, and kind of, I definitely saw some carts out front there on our way in.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah.
Any ideas the four of you, the eight of you, may have? I know this is a lot.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever done anything like this before.
I will be admit, it's the first time I've had to lay siege to my own town. Or prepare for a siege, I should say.
Is there some way we could... I mean, if we're trying to stop people getting in, is there a way we could put up some traps or fortifications or
that is
something?
Skia, you're good with traps, right?
Yeah. If I can get my hands on some rope and some things, I could maybe set up some traps and things. And maybe
some big spiky poles.
Yeah. So when they go across, it like hits them in the face or something. Yeah. I can definitely do that.
Excellent. I'll have you liaise with the rangers and get those traps set up, because they ought to be the best people to supply you with the materials and things like that.
Perfect.
Anything anyone else can think of, or anything you think you might need that I can see if we've got some stock for?
Potions.
Definitely everyone will need some potions or some salves.
Big ones.
Yes. We're not the healiest of parties.
Nuh-uh.
It's about this time that there's a knock on the door, and the invisible servants open it, and a very tall, dark-skinned elf that Skia recognizes as Valinar is standing in the door looking a little perplexed. I was brought here. Apparently I'm to talk to people about helping protect the town. Skia, we wondered where you disappeared. Are you all right?
Yeah. A lot has happened since last I saw you. Come in. Rob, can you pour this gentleman a drink? I think he's going to need it.
Of course. I'm gonna go and get another bottle.
And I'll just give him a brief explanation, but kind of like rushing through the terrifying bits. Like, it's going to be a siege. It's going to be fine. We're here to help. My friends are here. It's going to be a siege. It's fine. It's fine.
But we won't have to go anywhere near the great evil elder god or the two dragons. Never mind that. Don't worry about it.
No.
Yeah, don't worry about them. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Just goblins, innit?
So I think when you finish explaining everything, he is pale. It's like ashen sort of coloured, and just kind of sits back in his chair and just kind of holds the glass out to Rock to pour another whiskey.
I literally just top it up without saying a word.
But if this works, if this succeeds, then we think everyone will be turned back to normal.
Well, Your Grace, my friends, new and old. He holds out the whiskey. Here's to stupid ideas that might just save us.
Definitely
That's
drink to
the
that.
motto, innit? Wait.
So I think Valinar and Skia, you probably spend some time talking about like how to set these traps up and where to kind of do them. He gives you a better insight into the lay of the land, but the design and the ideas, because this is not the sort of thing that he's kind of had any experience with.
Yeah.
But you're not a sapper, but you're kind of along that sort of line for your little troop of mercenaries. You're the person that they send to sneak in behind pickets and the like.
Yeah, for sure.
I would like you to make me a survival check with advantage.
Thank you. I'm going to roll my actual dice and hope it got better.
Make the math rocks dance.
Wow. Okay, it's not great, but it's still an 18, so...
18 is still good. Cool. So whilst they're planning this, which takes them a little while, is there anything the rest of you would like to do or add or think about?
I think I'm adding to my map and just sort of doing a back and forth.
And actually that really helps, because it helps Sothis and Valinar and Skia kind of prep where people need to be and what they need to be doing and where they can position men. I would like you to roll roll me a intelligence check, but add your modifier to it. Sorry, actually, I'm going to go wisdom for you. Sorry.
Okay, good.
Yeah, add your modifier though.
Hey,
your proficiency modifier, that is.
Yeah, 22.
22, nice.
This dice is good dice. This dice.
That one can stay. So what you mentioned, what you missed, Theo, is Skia went through the trap plans, and her and Valinar have set that up. Oh, I know what they're doing. They're going to get the Rangers to set those up.
How long do we have?
Sothis kind of looks. He goes, "Well, we don't have an extended time frame, unfortunately, because as soon as we start changing things of the island, I suspect the Elder One will start to notice and probably respond in kind. We need to be quick, but I would say we have time to get everybody rested and recovered and ready."
Cool. So I have like a couple of hours to learn a new spell, maybe?
Do you need paper and ink? I mean, what's the point in having your father pretend to be a dragon, pretend to be a wizard if he doesn't keep the ink around? And she points to a bureau over to one side. Help yourself.
Thank you.
I'm just going to just poke Eugene and just say, I have some ink and paper if you need it. Just let me know.
You will find in the bureau there is the magical ink that most wizards use to transcribe spells in there. So you can do that without spell cost this time.
Ooh. That magical ink better be sparkly.
It's not Eugene's usual purple sparkle. It's more of a silvery.
Ooh.
But it doesn't clash horribly, so it works.
Okay. I just have to pick which spell.
Whoa.
Is Eugene's writing in a glittery purple gel pen?
Yeah, it's one of those scented. It's one of those scented ones. It smells like grape.
Yes, yes,
exactly what I was picturing.
Canon. That is exactly what magical ink smells like now.
Yep. Smells like grape. And it's got a big feather.
That
at
was
the end.
always my favorite scented.
Best one.
The purple grape one.
I think Rock is going to kind of, without his sort of three companions seeing, Rock is going to try and kind of talk to Jaggeth and Mirren, and basically sort of very awkwardly kind of stand around, obviously wanting to ask them something, and then eventually kind of saying, could you I don't suppose you could show me any fighting things that may help me just be a little bit better with. I have a rapier, but and I have a pistol. I'm a very good shot, but if things get close, it's a little. So I just wondered. I mean, you're quite, you're rather impressive, and you know what? Never mind.
Mirren goes to reach out, and I think it's at this point that her brother kind of steps in. I think I'll handle this one if that's okay, sis. I mean, you already nearly broke your spine, so she goes, fine. I'll go and annoy the pretty satyr. And she kind of goes over to help Aisling, and he takes you out into the hallway, and he kind of gets you to make a few swings and attacks, and he kind of corrects your form in a couple of places.
As soon as he gets close to me, I blush terribly.
The twins are hot. You can't help it.
Rock is blushing and totally just like overwhelmed by this.
And it is very close. It's like that point where he kind of has to get his arm round you to kind of correct your stance. And you're...
I think Rock makes a small squeaking noise when he does that.
And he gets you to kind of try a few strikes and things like that. I would like you to roll me 3 attack rolls.
Just straight D20s?
Plus your rapier attack.
Add your flirt modifier.
Add your flirt modifier.
Okay. Well, the first one's good. So that's 23.
23. Nice.
15. 15.
Yep.
Oh, and a 6.
And a 6. So I think the first 2 are really good. And by the latter point, you're kind of paying less attention to the lesson and more to the large burly human who, by the way, very rare a human makes you feel small. You are a big man. Mirren is huge, and you suspect there might be some giant blood in there somewhere. He kind of, at one point, he just kind of picks your good horn. Hey, pay attention. You lose concentration like that, you could be dead.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel more confident with your general use of rapier. What I'll do is I'm going to give you a special inspiration. If you use your rapier in the coming battle, you can have an inspiration to use just on that weapon.
Awesome. Thank you. That is very kind.
Cool. Time goes past. The Countess comes back out and kind of settles you all down. Friends, I would like you to rest. Valinar and I are going to go and talk to the people and see what we can do to get them ready. But in the meantime, I think it's best all of you get a good night's rest, and we will get ourselves into position and ready in the morning.
Could I,
of course.
One small thing, equipment-wise. Do you happen to have anyone in the area that could make, or perhaps that we could buy a slingshot from?
I'm certain we can provide you with that. That's no problem.
Fantastic. Thank you. That'd be great. That's all. Thank you.
Cool. Yes. So you can all take a long rest. If there's any conversations you want to have amongst you, you may do so.
Are there any conversations?
Yeah. How is everyone feeling at this point?
Nervous.
That seems fair.
Aisling's doing all right. I think she's feeling kind of good because she got to use her map skills. She finally feels useful.
You're always useful, Aisling. You know that. You managed to get back to your rooms and settle down, and you can hear the kind of movements of the city and people talking and things like that. It is quite late in the afternoon. I mean, it's been a very long day for all of you. You feel like you have covered a lot and you have prepared a lot. Quietly, you settle down and you have your long rest. And then the next morning, you are awoken by a knock on the door. Are you all sleeping in the same room again? Yeah.
Initially not, but eventually.
Does anybody even say anything to Rock this time when he just comes and lets himself in a little bit later?
No, I think if anything, there was the odd bet on like, I give it 10 minutes, like, nah, 5.
Yeah, but Rock knocks on the door and says that there is a draft coming through the window in his room and it's absolutely freezing, so he couldn't possibly sleep there.
No, that's totally it. I feel Ashling's gonna like chat shit with Skier for quite a while as well.
Yeah, I think Skier's got that nervous energy of like flicking between like just sitting in silence to like frantic babbling.
Ashling's loving it.
I do think Rock would probably, while they are having a good old chat, would probably kind of very quietly just sort of nudge Eugene and just say, "Are you you're doing all right?"
Yes, I think so. I'm having difficulty choosing what spell I should take.
That is a problem. I had a friend once who was a druid, and it was a nightmare. Utter nightmare.
So the wizard gave me a book with like some things in it, but like, should I? Okay, so I'm stuck between two, and maybe you can help me.
Okay, go ahead.
So, what do you think is more useful for this situation? Something that alerts us to someone crossing some kind of threshold, or something that makes it so only certain creatures can pass through?
Oh, I think the second.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't think we're going to need too much to tell us they're coming. I have a feeling it's going to be a bit of an onslaught.
How much of an onslaught?
Well, I mean, we've had the cult people and all those other sort of small groups of people, and I imagine if this elder one sort of gets them all in a frenzy, they'll probably all be running towards the town. But I mean, but we won't be on our own. There will be other fighters there, and I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is going to be fine, right?
Oh yeah, totally. It'll be fine. I mean, look, we fought that giant sort of rat king monarch thing. That was terrifying, and there were thousands of those little bastards. So we've come through some surprisingly difficult things, and I mean, you and Aisling have been incredibly adept at your skills, and we've survived this long. And with Skier, I mean, at least somebody can stab things now.
And Rock, you've been an adventurer for a while, right?
I have, yes.
Do you ever wonder if you're doing the right thing? Like, how do you know if you're doing the right thing? Like, we are doing the right thing, right?
Yes. I think we're doing the right thing. One of the reasons I think we're doing the right thing is because we collectively all felt that there must be another option to those options we were given. Individually, we all saw different parts of the story, and yet we all knew that we wanted to find another way of doing it that didn't involve those terrible outcomes for these people.
That's true.
And I think that is a very clear sign that we all knew that this was the right thing to do. As for being an adventurer, well, I tend to just believe that I try and do the right thing because I am a good person. And I'm never really sure. I don't think any of us can be 100% sure, but we can only do our best with the information that we have at the time. Besides which, in 10 years' time, when you're a famous mage and the world knows about you, you may make different choices depending on where you are in your life. But right now, I think we are making the right choices, I think. Besides, it's less about being right and more about making your own stories and think of the adventures you could tell people of.
Yeah, that's true. That
A lot of
sounds like
adventures.
something my sister would say.
Well, a lot of adventures happen because things go wrong. I mean, not spectacularly wrong, like, sort of falling down a well and drowning, or, having fireball.
I fell down a well.
I think
It's
at this
fine.
point, Eugene just puts his hand on Rock's shoulder and he says, "I think you should stop."
Yeah, but you know what I mean. I mean,
yeah, I got it.
Yeah, we're making wonderful stories here. That's what we're doing. So don't worry.
They're really hard to climb out of with who?
How did you get out?
There was a ladder.
Oh my god! Right, okay. I start drawing
Oh,
a diagram for Skier, and we go off on one again.
To be fair, she wasn't much better getting out the thing with the ladder with hooves. So either way, it's a bit tricky. But you're very good at other skills.
Good save, thanks. Anyway, right. So there was this pulley system. Okay.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And Aisling goes on to describe a solution to something that was relatively simple problem that was way more complicated than it needed to be.
Went unnecessarily Da Vinci on something.
Which seems fitting. You all get a good night's rest. I think, Rock, you hear someone walking past the room, heading towards where you were, and a gentle soft knock at one point. But because you're not in,
door.
Yeah, on the room that you were in. But because you're not in after a moment, I think you just hear footsteps walk away again.
I would probably try and sort of have a look who's there.
Sure. Do you want to just open the door or quiet?
Yeah, I literally will just sneak to the door and kind of push it open to see as whoever it is walking back past our door.
As they kind of open the door, you can come face to face with Jaggeth, who it looks a bit. Oh, sorry, I thought you were in that room. Did I get it wrong?
Well, I was, but they were a little nervous, so I came to comfort them.
That seems fair. Didn't mean to disturb you. I had a thought, and listen, we might all die tomorrow, and
yes, the thought had crossed my mind.
Sometimes it's nice to spend an evening with someone you like before you face something scary. And this is a stupid idea. I'm sorry.
No, that's very true. Sometimes, I mean, that's why. And you'll see the penny will slowly drop with Rock, because he initially has no idea what's going on. Rock just will say, "No, that's very true. Sometimes you." I see. One second. I'm just going to close the door, and then literally just close the door, put my back to it, and go. Okay, right. And I'm going to turn around.
Real quick though, can Aisling be like secretly awake and underneath her blanket just go, "Get you some, Rock."
Shut up, go to sleep. I'm just going to turn around and open the door again and say, I do have a bottle of if you'd like a drink in my room.
Yeah, I think that would be really nice.
Good, great. Okay. You'd need to move out the doorway so I can come. You're on the
yeah. And I think as soon as you step out the door, he pulls the door closed behind you and just gives you a big kiss.
Rock initially is frozen stiff, so to speak, and then eventually kind of reciprocates and is very, very flustered by the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of escort, go to where his room is.
And we will fade on that one.
I think that's enough information.
The next morning, from your respective rooms, you wake up, get yourselves ready, and head into town. To meet up with the rest of the military. You can see people are being ushered towards the manor, and as soon as as you're coming out, the people are coming in. The 8 of you leave, kind of chatting amongst yourselves, and you can see this sort of recognition and confusion as people kind of, wait, there was a house here the whole time? You make your way through the streets. You say your goodbyes on the bridge. Some of you heading west, some of you heading east. The twins give Skier a big hug.
Okay, you're not allowed to die.
No, you.
Don't
You know you get in trouble when we're not there to kill things for you, so just take care of them. Ambridge kind of looks a bit flustered. If by any chance you see that rotten apprentice of mine again, just make sure he's safe, okay? And I think you're just going to reach out and ruffle Eugene's hair a little bit.
Rock's just going to very loudly say to Ashley, very loudly so everybody can hear, say to Ashley, who is he talking about?
So mean. Rock.
What? Who is his apprentice?
So mean.
Don't know what he's talking about. Clearly very forgettable.
4 of you say goodbye to your companions and they head off. You can see a large burly gnoll wearing some leather armor and carrying a whopping great axe that she seems to have acquired. You make your way back through the town to the gate that you first came through. One Valinar is there and kind of waves to Skier and the rest of you as you approach. Traps are all in place, as per your description. I think it will buy us some time. We've marked out where everybody is according to Ashling's planning and what we were talking about before. I have a runner coming from the mansion to let us know when they're about to begin. They will sound the bell to 12, recognizing a new day. I think the Countess likes some symbolism.
Well, I think that's very fitting.
It's up to you. You can stay down here, or you can go to the parapet. If you need any ranged weapons, I can provide them. Also, if any of you need armor at all?
I don't know.
He can provide simple, anything light or medium armor-wise for those of you that can use them. I don't think, Skier, you don't really need it because you're fairly well equipped, aren't you?
I already have some leather armor, some basic leather armor, yeah.
I mean, I'm wearing light armor, so I...
Yep, I think that's probably fine for you.
Yeah.
I could probably do with some armor because I'm pretty sure I'm just in a shirt and shorts.
Yep, he can provide some leather armor for you. Kind of,
cool.
They even find something without too much in the way of leg stuff, so that it's easy for you to wear.
Yep.
So, Skier, he kind of pulls out a crossbow. This is a present from my mother, so I do need it back, but she has kept my family safe for generations, and he has over. And you have a +1 crossbow
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
That you can reload as a bonus action as opposed to a full action.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. Is it a light crossbow or a hand crossbow?
It is a standard crossbow. So light. Go with light for that one. Yeah, rather than hand.
Thank you.
No worries.
I'll grab the slingshot from somebody. Whoever.
You provided with a sling. You also provided each with a standard potion of healing.
Yes.
And a poultice, which can be used to give you advantage on the medicine check to stabilize someone if they go down.
Cool.
Advantage on medicine check. What do you mean if they go down? No one's going down, obviously.
So,
sorry, and Estree's with the others, right?
Estree's with the others. Yeah, sorry, I should have made sure that was clear.
That's fine. He would have got the same. You're not allowed to die treatment.
Yep. And technically, he's supposed to be in charge, so he probably would have given it to you as well. He's not very good at the whole being in charge thing.
We just let him think he's in charge.
Yeah. Basically, he just points the chaos in the right direction.
Yeah.
We got a standard potion of healing, yeah?
Yeah. Standard potion, each. Which you can keep, by the way. It's only the crossbow that has to go back. Unless you would like to stay by the gate on the floor, you are shown up to the up through the guardhouse into the parapet above.
I would definitely start in the parapet anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to start up there.
Guys can at least get a clearer look of what's going on. Is there anything else you want to do before they start, or are you just going to wait?
Can I find and have a quick word with Sophus?
Before you left the mansion? Yeah, absolutely. I kind of rushed you out there, but you would have had time to talk to her.
Yeah, so I'm just going to find her and say, I just wanted to check quickly. We were talking about this last night. What exactly are we expecting to be kind of attacking us? Is it just going to be an onslaught of lots of people, or are we expecting something particularly big that we should be keeping an eye out for? Or?
I wish I could tell you, Rock. I really do. I suspect every single Fae on the island who is not free will come to the Elder One's aid.
Oh, goody.
And from what I understand and from what you've said, you faced down a fair few of those already.
Oh, yes, especially those nibbly little bastards. Very well. I just thought perhaps you would have some idea of what exactly we are expecting during this.
But if it's Fae, and no offense to Aisling, expect the unexpected. Go with your instincts.
That's not offensive. That's just true.
It's both true and also entirely unhelpful. But thank you very much for that. Yes.
Keep your friends safe and yourself safe, and just be prepared. Good luck.
And don't fuck it up.
Yeah, and don't fuck it up. No pressure. The town begins to quieten down as less and less people are in the main thoroughfare. You hear a couple of the residents arguing. You also see the people with no memories being moved off the streets and into houses, and houses being locked. Some of them being guided to the mansion, but I think they're focusing primarily on the people who are conscious and aware, because there's still limited space, even though it's quite a large building. After what feels like an age of waiting, a runner, a halfling woman who is quite quick considering her stature, bombs down the main thoroughfare, shouting for Valinar. The two of them exchange quick words, and then she grabs a bow and arrow and starts moving up. Valinar shouts out to all of you, "They're beginning the ritual. Prepare yourselves. Soon we will have to fight for our home and hopefully, beyond that, our freedom. There is an eerie quiet between all of you. I think you glance to your friends. Then the bells of the town ring out. 10, 11, 12 times. You watch a few of the rangers run back into view from where they were escorting the last few people, weapons ready for what comes next. You wait with bated breath for the sign, and then you all feel it at once. A change in pressure and a tingling sensation, as if your body is waking up from a deep, deep sleep. To the west, you see a blast of light burst from the manor house you left behind a few hours ago. A pillar of radiance that pierces the very sky, causing a wave of energy to ripple out, creating a dome-like structure around the whole island. Beside you, you hear gasps from the people that have gathered to protect the town. Even knowing they were shut off from the world did nothing to prepare them for the reality of it. A second pillar of energy, a dusky shade of blue, leaps from the temple north of you, causing a second rippling that flows over the first. And then the real changes begin. The sky darkens through midnight colours to a roiling dust of purple and grey. The cloud barrier that you all crossed to arrive on this island is now visible for you all. You watch as it begins to churn more and gather around, pouring down to create a third pillar deep in the forest you travelled from. For a moment, 3 pillars of magic stand, and then the clouds finally ebb, flowing down into the forest and revealing the night sky beyond. The silver light from the moon you simply know as Brother casts over this land for the first time in centuries. The stars above look down on you, just as you remember them before you arrived. It's then that chittering begins. Thousands of tiny little voices cry out in Sylvan. A familiar name that you all know, and you watch in horror as the bitter fear of the dying snow reveals themselves truly for the first time. Breaking of trees and rumbling of soil, the gargantuan form of the AL sits up from where it has been struck down by its enemies. Up and up and up it stands. Twisting veins of rock and soil and ice climb into a sharp crown of spikes that would dwarf most trees, seeming to just crown around the moon above it. You see the remnants of that smoky cloud filling it in, making them whole. Long limbs, fingers and hands that could hold a house, sharp eyes black as the darkest shadow, a long grin with teeth as long as a human. One voice at the same time intoxicating and terrifying. Oh, at long last, I am free to revel and maim. The ale reaches its long hand towards the town and makes a step that rumbles through the ground. Snow and ice begin to fill the air as it makes its first reach into the world after centuries of being locked away. For a second, fear grips all of your hearts. You hear the ragged breaths of your companions beside you. How could you stand against this god? So small, so fleeting as you all are. And that's when the cannon fire begins. Ships upon ships drift beyond what now is the edge of the island. Mercenary runners beside patrol boats from Cloud's Cairn, and beyond them something none of you thought you would ever see. Imperial frigates stand alongside Ashur corsairs, while Daklan skiffs flit between them all elegantly, all opening fire on this terrifying ancient creature. A cheer goes up beside you as your allies. You all know now you are not alone, but is quickly cut short as that chittering from the forest grows louder and louder. One of the rangers near you cries out and you all turn in time to see hundreds upon hundreds of dark forms explode from the tree line straight towards the town. The corrupted Fae will be on you in seconds. And that is where we're going to take our break.
This is going to go well.
Right, I'm
Too
good.
late to leave.
Yeah, can
I'm
we go
out.
grind some XP somewhere?
yeah. I don't rats in any basements.
I know. This is the point where Rock goes, do you know what? We've kind of changed our mind.
Maybe you're
Yeah,
right.
about all that stuff we said.
Does anyone know where Fandolin is? Can we go there?
Every world has a Fandolin.
Yep.
Okay.
Guys, we are going to take a break so these guys can just kind of center themselves and have a quick bio break and grab something to drink and that. We will be back for the Battle of Vesherin after 15 minutes. See you then.
Bye.
Okay, we're out for a second. Hope everybody is stretched and has got some fluids.
What was that? Did you say? I hope everyone is stressed. Yes, we are.
Yeah, check.
Hang on 1 second. There you go. I've got help today, you see. He was just checking all your rolls were accurate and things. So before the break, our intrepid adventurers won over the favour of an ancient steel dragon, putting 2 dragons in their corner as they face down with the now released Ale God, the bitter fear of dying in the snow, who stands ready, but currently under cannon fire from unexpected allies. Rebecca Ryder, the mayor of Clare's Cairn, tapped the rail of the Mountain's Gift, her flagship, and one of the few actual military vessels controlled by the Free City. Beside her, the envoy from Daklan, a pale, mousy human with eyes that always looked like they were on the verge of tears, continued his pleasantries. It has been the best part of week, your ladyship. The Crown just wants to know if there's been an effective use of time and resources. Beside him, a more welcome figure in red silks inclined her head in sympathy. Sabina Rithin, the former courtesan of the late Emperor, echoed the envoy. Unfortunately, my dear, the court are beginning to ask the same questions. I have poured in as many resources as I dare, but we have been out here for a month, all told, and despite our friends' assurances that your adventurers reached out to us, we have no sign. Her words trailed off as she suddenly looked behind Rebecca's shoulder. Sister, be kind, look! Rebecca turned to the island and watched in silent amazement as the clouds rippled, then funneled slowly inwards, dissipating and revealing a lush green land, heavily forested, and with a single town at the centre. She heard a few excited whoops and gasps from the city watch around her, but didn't take her eyes off the island. She was still watching the funnel of the clouds as it seemed to form around an impossibly large figure. Gods be good, that isn't possible. Ice formed in her veins as she reached out and grabbed the ship's bosun by his jacket, her voice and hand shaking. Tell the captain to start firing on that creature and don't stop till either it or we are dead. Cold iron and gunpowder only. No eldritch cannons. Pushing the man away, she caught an expression on her friend's face. Rebecca, what's happening? An ale, Sithin. That island has a bloody ale on it, and if we don't stop it here, there's no telling the damage it will do. And that is where the first cannon fire started. I would like all of you, however, to roll initiative.
The resounding sound of confidence.
Oh no.
I got the same as you, Skia.
Oh no! I better be good at this bit.
We'll start with Theo for Eugene.
11.
11. Wayne, what did Rock get?
Including my initiative bonus, I got a 4.
A 4. Ashling and Skia, you said you had the same.
13.
13. Awesome. Who has the higher dex of the two of you?
It's going to be you, surely.
I've got a 16 in Dex.
Yeah. Yeah, you're higher than I am.
Okay, excellent. The Fae will go on a 14. I think basically what happened is that was quite a horrific thing to witness, and all of you were a little slow to react, and I think everyone around you as well.
Yep.
At the beginning of the round, you watch as the horrifying man-faced dogs fly out. Running alongside them are dark, cloaked little elfin creatures. There are several snaps and explosions and cracks as traps spring up everywhere, and take out quite a large number of them in the first foray.
Yes, well done, us.
You watch as they pull themselves over the bodies of those of them that are left behind. You watch as these small creatures, the ones with the cloaks, explode out when they are hit. But that doesn't stop them reaching the walls and beginning to scale. That is their first turn. Skier, what would you like to do?
I would like to aim my borrowed crossbow at whichever the nearest one is, and take a shot.
Please do so. We're going to extrapolate and kind of just rather than have a map on this bit here, we're going to kind of just have it a little bit more theatre of the mind because there's a lot going on.
Imagination.
Imagination. What did you get, Misha?
23 to hit.
23 will definitely hit this creature coming up. Roll damage for me.
That's 12 points of damage.
You watch as this thing takes a crossbow bolt straight through the skull, and it shrieks. And Sylvan, as it pulls away, it explodes, and there's a ripple effect, and taking several others of it with it.
Hell yeah!
Oh my god, amazing. Are there any nearby, like within 30 feet?
Yeah, there is a lot for you to choose from.
Okay, then Skier just brings out her Ichilwa and it's going to throw that.
Yep. You can also use your Dread Ambusher, by the way. Sorry, excuse me.
Okay, thank you. I will probably use that with the Ichilwa, just because that feels easier. 24 to hit.
24 will hit.
Is that right? 12 points of damage because it's a throwing weapon. So another 12.
Yep.
And then last one to hit is a 16.
It will also hit.
7, 8. And 16 points of damage because I use my Dread Ambusher. That's my Dread Ambusher attack, that last one.
Nice. So you watch the skier takes aim with a crossbow and then pulls out her Yikwa at the same time and then pulls it back and smacks one of them off on the head as it just comes over the parapet. There is a popping explosion and takes down a couple of the others. You hear the yelp of something different as it falls to the ground, and you look over to see like a slightly twisted version of a satyr on the ground.
Sorry.
That will make it Aisling, your go.
Oh, can I?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
sure.
I just wanted to use my bonus action to reload the crossbow.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah. And you're kind of like, how does this click? Oh.
Nice. That satyr, are they dead? Is that one of the ones that you killed, or is it?
It's a dead satyr. It does not look like your people.
Okay, what's the nearest thing to getting up and over?
Take your pick. There are lots of these creatures with the black cloaks that you've seen before. There are Yethhounds.
Are they the ones that explode?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to aim for one of them.
Yep, sure.
I'm gonna hex one first, and then I'm gonna blast it.
Cool. So spend your spell slot, and then blast.
I'm gonna blast it. Okay. The dice has frozen on here, so I will roll it IRL.
No worries.
Plus 6. 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
Delicious. 9 damage on the first blast.
That will do it. Yep.
And then, do I have to roll to hit for the second one as well, or does it all just come out in one?
You have to roll for the second one separately. Yep. So the first
Cool.
first one hits, so you can hit something else if you want to.
No, I'm going to hit that same one.
It
hexed.
explodes with the first hit, so there's nothing left for you to hit.
Okay. Am I able to move my hex in the same go, or do I have to wait?
You'd need to wait till the end.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. I'll just blast whatever one is.
Yeah, but your hex is up now, so you can always use your bonus action to move it to wherever you are, as long as you're concentrating on it.
Got ya. 16 to hit whatever the hell is near me.
16 to hit.
Another caped explodey one.
Yep, that will hit. Do you want to roll your damage?
Yes. Yeah, only 4 damage.
4. It does survive.
Yeah.
It kind of crawls itself up of the parapet, and it's kind of holding this knife out, and it's kind of looking at you with this whole... It's kind of weird. It's like a sallow, grey-skinned elf on top, but with Satyr's legs underneath.
Kind of do that Cora thing. It's like...
Eugene, it is your go.
Okay. He takes out a spell book, his spell book, and like kind of rifles through the pages, and it's like, okay. I can do this. This is gonna work. This will be fine. And he starts like muttering some incantations, and then kind of in a point below them, where there's like I assume there's like a mass of them before they're like climbing up this wall.
Yep.
So like right in the center, there's like a kind of familiar purple portal opens, and out of it comes this huge, like dark, smoky, like almost like human shaped figure. But it kind of has no features.
Okay.
And it looks like it's wearing a mask with like a really angry face on it. Eugene casts Summon Shadow Spawn.
Whoa!
Nice.
Love it.
I love that.
And it's the Fury.
Amazing.
So
That is
then
cool as hell.
So we now have a shadowy spirit on our side, and he will take his turn straight after me.
Perfect.
So on their turn, they will use Dreadful Scream. So there's just this horrible scream that emits from this thing. And
I think the same thing happens with Aisling when that. Good gosh, that's terrifying.
Each creature within 30 feet of it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC or be frightened of the spirit.
Cool. And it's far enough away to not get you in.
Yeah, like we're up here,
Yeah,
and
it's
he
quite down
summons
there.
it like at the bottom of the wall, basically.
Perfect, yeah.
Where they're at there, like.
Cool. Well, I'm going to do... Sorry, what's your spell save DC?
15.
Only one of... there's a few of them do resist, but 2/3 of the ones around him do not save.
Cool, so they are
Nice.
all frightened now. So we have advantage against them now, and they have to... They can't come any further towards us, right?
So you watch this thing kind of step out of the portal and roll its shoulders back and just scream into the air. And suddenly several of these creatures just start skittering back as if they're trying to get away from it. There's a couple of others that kind of look at it and kind of look unnerved by its arrival, but don't seem to be quite as frightened.
I think Ashley's going to immediately look at Eugene just to check that that's one of his, not something else we have to deal with.
He puts his thumb up.
That is very true. I think there's a few of the rangers and the city guard who are kind of looking at you as if to say, "Is that on our
He's
side?"
on our side. They're on our side. I know they look scary, but that's why I gave them the mask.
I love that.
Masks make everything less scary.
Well, you should see underneath us.
No.
Some of the guards are slightly unnerved by everything that's going on. Others open fire. There's a few more of these Fae that kind of go down. They are the initial push is thinning a little bit, but there's still some of them coming up and now are over the parapet on the same level on you. On your turn, each of you will have one attack against you. That will make it Rock's go.
Finally. So first, as my bonus action, I will bardically inspire Skier.
Nice.
And then for my action, I'm going to... Basically, I'm just going to take my pistol, I think, at this point, and I'm going to try and shoot whichever one is first coming over the parapet. So anything that's an immediate danger to us, I want to shoot that one.
Yep, and you've got enough range to be able to do that, no problem.
Yeah. So, pistol. 14 to hit?
14 hits, yeah.
And that's a... Which die is this? That is 7 points of damage.
You see this slightly vined, elfin-looking creature pull itself up with his big dark eyes and crystal, like ice tears coming from it. And you kind of, I think you almost nope it and shoot it, and it kind of falls over backwards, and you hear it shrill, and then you hear that chittering version of Sylvan again as they push back.
Can
I'm
Ashley
just going
understand any of the crazy Sylvan that's happening because she speaks it?
Mostly, they are calling out the Elder One's name over and over again.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
Nothing creepy about that. Yeah, I'm going to just have a look over the parapet just to try and get a bit of a lay of the land of like how many are coming up, how many behind, and that kind of thing.
There are still hundreds, and they are moving out around and you can see that they're kind of spreading out around the walls. So you will have like a good dozen or so that you have to deal with here, but other people are fighting all around the walls, and you get the impression it's probably the whole city surrounded at this point.
Yeah. Can I see the dead satyr down there?
It's swarmed over. In fact, it's gone. You have a feeling it's been pulled away.
Or eaten.
Anything else?
No, that's it. I've done my bonus action.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it.
At the top of the round, there is an explosion of winged movement from the top of the forest, and you see tiny little humanoid figures in, again, hundreds of them just kind of burst up and start flying towards the city. As soon as they get closer, you can recognize cadaver sprites again. The guards start opening fire immediately. As if in response to this chittering, there is a mighty roar and a sound like thunder. And then I think everyone stops and looks over their shoulder, and you watch as this huge, bright silver dragon bursts out from where you know the mansion to be and starts flying straight towards the Elder One, straight over your heads. You can watch the moonlight glint on his scales as he goes, and he just literally charges straight into the Elder One, his tail whipping around and grabbing this thing by the arm and trying to pull it back over as it goes. A second thing happens. These sprites start charging towards you, and you, Rock, particularly feel kind of a shift in the nature of the world around you as a huge silvery cat-like hand appears in their way and just grabs a load of them, crushing them instantaneously. before kind of gesturing out. And Eugene, you also get a message. Eugene, dear boy, Uncle Perb, just checking in. Are the dragons on our side?
I can reply to this message, right?
You can reply to this message.
Uncle! Oh my god, thank God. It's so nice to hear your voice. Yes, the dragon's good. Big, scary ale thing, bad.
You feel the message go off. And I think it's about this point in time you all see a familiar-looking metallic ship as the dragonfly seems to pull towards the town. And on its deck, apart from Bill the Corsair and his assorted crew, is Allywood Jack.
Yes.
And most of the members of the Gleaming Sword, who will land on the next round and start taking things down on the outside.
Hell yes.
Top of the round, each of you will suffer an attack. So it's a 13 versus Eugene.
Hits.
Taking 5 points of damage. 16 versus Skier.
Yeah, hits.
Taking exactly the same amount of damage. 13 versus Rock.
13 is my underclass.
5 damage. And 15 versus Ashling.
Oh, meters beats.
5 damage as well. These sort of phase, and like they're cutting at you and things like that, and just some of them slip past your defenses. You can see a couple of the other humans down the way are also injured as well, but they're still holding on, which will then make it Skier's go.
Cool. I think the skier wants to try and keep her new friend safe, so I imagine she, from one side, she pulls out a crossbow and is going to fire it like at whatever's hurting Eugene.
Yep.
Does a 13 hit?
13 does hit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. These things aren't tough. There's just a lot of them.
Okay. 10 points of damage.
It goes down. It's one of these, slightly twisted elfin creatures with like a twisted, like plant-like body and things like that.
And then I rolled an 11, which I don't think is going to hit.
11 doesn't
So
hit, I'm afraid.
I'm going to use my bardic inspiration from Rock because
Yep, go for
Rock
it.
was the next person that. Oh, does a 12 hit? I rolled
Meets his
a
beats.
Oh,
It does.
yeah! Hell yeah!
It's something. That's 9 points of damage.
Ooh.
Rock, I'll have you make a quick dexterity saving throw, please.
Sure. 13.
13. This thing that's kind of coming at you with a knife suddenly gets a yikwa through the throat, and it kind of bubbles for a second and then explodes in this burst of light. But you roll backwards just in time to kind of not be hit by it.
It bubbles?
Yep. And then
Ew.
explodes.
Ew.
Rock is clearly very torn between going, thank you. Can you not do it right in front? I mean, thank you, but it was right. Never mind.
I just summoned it back like so it was right in front of Rock's face. And then bonus action to reload and
Bonus action to show off.
bonus action to show off, please.
Always. Ashling. Sorry, is there anything else for Michelle?
No, that's me.
Okay. Shouting at your companions is always a free action. Ashling, your go.
Okay, cool. So what do I currently see from where I'm standing?
So on the
in terms of things that are close.
and on the parapet, there are hundreds of humanoid, like not hundreds, but there does easily just under a dozen of these various fey creatures. Also within range, there are still some of these cadaver sprites. And from where you can see some Yeth hounds getting very close, looking for a way up or a weakness in the door. Some of them seem to be throwing themselves at the door directly. And beyond them, you can now see 5 of those tall rock figures that you fought when you were trying to make your way to Oliver, slowly striding towards
5?
5 of them.
That's too many. Okay.
So it's up to you whether you want to hit stuff on the parapet or you want to try and take out some of the stuff that's coming towards the city.
I don't like the look of the hounds attacking the door.
Yep.
So I think I'm gonna bonus action move my hex onto one of them.
Yep.
And then blast them.
Okay. And you reach around this thing that's trying to kind of scratch at you and just open fire.
Yeah, just like, oh, go away, I'm busy. Okay. No, first one definitely misses. It was an 8.
Okay, yep.
Next one is also trash. At a 10. Can I use my inspiration for that, please?
You've got an inspiration at the moment.
Yeah, I didn't use one the last time because I got a nat 20, so...
That's fair enough. Then, yeah, you can just use it for an advantage roll, basically.
Nice! I'm going to do that here.
On one of those attacks.
Okay, 16.
16, yeah, that hits. The other 2 definitely do not.
No. Okay. So 10... only 5 damage on one of them. Oh wait, but it's hexed, so I get to add a bit of damage, don't I?
You do, yes. I think it's a D6 for hex.
Yeah, I got a 2 on that, so I got
7 damage, 8 damage in total. It is still standing, but you've definitely injured it. And also seeing that you attacking the creatures attacking the door, a couple of the guards take note and they kind of, oh, actually, that's a problem. We better deal with that. And they start moving towards that. Eugene.
Yes, me. Okay. Are there still things trying to get through the door?
Yes.
Can I see that?
Aisling did damage one of them, but there's a few of them kind of banging up at it. Basically, you've had your attention drawn to them now. So,
okay, I will send Pocket to the door, and get him to touch the door, and through him, I will cast Arcane Lock.
Oh,
nice!
Oh, I love that.
So the DC to break the door is now 10 more, 10 higher than it was.
I love that.
Hell
Amazing.
yes!
That's brilliant.
What does this look like as this spell takes hold?
I think just so you see, because Pocket's still a hawk, I believe.
You haven't changed it back yet, so yes.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So he flies down to the door and touches it with his little bird feet. And just a giant purple, oversized, almost cartoon looking padlock appears with one of those really complex tumbler systems.
Amazing.
It's on front of the door, massive
Nice.
glowing purple lock.
I mean, there's some confusion on these human-faced dogs as they kind of what is this? A couple of them start howling at it, trying to get it to break that way, and it doesn't seem to work.
And then my shadow spirit will just attack whatever is nearest to it with chilling hand, and that will be with advantage because they're scared, right?
Yep, you have to go for the scared things.
Yeah. So that is a 16 to hit.
16 will definitely hit.
Oh no, wait, it's a 20 to hit. So 1d12. So that is 9 points of cold damage.
You kill, I think this thing kills a couple of the smaller ones that are around it. Just kind of stomps down and kind of grabs one of them. Yeah, well done. You've cleared. They're starting to thin out a little bit, but there are still more. There's less coming from the forest, but there are still coming from the forest, and you can hear the sound of fighting all around the town. You can also hear shouting coming from inside the town as a few of the Yef hounds have managed to remember that they can teleport in and are being chased down by guards and rangers who have stayed inside for that explicit purpose.
Yes, that's my turn.
Cool. The guards start opening. Some of the guards free themselves from combat, taking down a couple of these other creatures. A couple of them have gone down already. One of them kind of gets to kind of looks over these Yef hounds still kind of banging against this now magically protected lock. And he kind of grabs this pot off from one side and just drags it out and just pushes it over the side. Pouring very hot oil down on them. It's like a satisfying shriek, and some of these dogs pull back, kind of giving you guys a bit of a breather. Cool. You guys will, however, suffer one attack each on your turn, and it's on their turn. Rock, it is your go.
Okay. First of all, as my bonus action, I will cast Bardic Inspiration on Eugene.
Nice.
Okay. And then... where is the most imminent threat from? Because you said the ones down at the bottom have kind of abated slightly for a bit.
Probably the ones on the parapet with you guys at the moment.
Okay, fine.
Or battlements, really, battlements. But yeah, you aren't. It's 50-50. You could be overwhelmed if more of the guards go down, so thinning them out further here would give you an advantage.
Fine. Is there are they clustered anywhere, or is it just like one or two here and there now?
I mean, there's still some trying to come up over the walls who are behind their friends, and the guards are trying to push them back. So carefully aimed spell could take down like a good 4 or 5 of them.
No, I'm going to take down more of them than that.
I mean, you can aim at some of the swarms of corpse flies that are kind of.
Are they close enough?
They're getting close. I mean, I think if Aisling can hit them, you can hit them.
Let's just have a look. No, I need them to be right close to do, because I wanted to use breath weapon. So
that's no problem.
So would they be close enough to do that?
Not quite yet. Probably at the end of this round. You can hold your action until they are close enough.
Yeah, so I would probably want to... Do I want to do that, or do I want to take an action now? Okay, I won't hold my action. I will take my action now, and I will again use my... I will just use my gun, my pistol, to try and take one or more of the little ones that are coming over the battlements. Cool. Anything that's close to Skier, Aisling, or Eugene.
Yeah, that's no worries. There's one crawling up. I think Eugene has to kind of keep looking over the edge to see someone. I think so. He's alarmingly close for your comfort.
Yeah. Okay, I will take that one out if I can. And the attack roll. No, that would be a 7 to hit.
I think you're being too careful not to actually hit Eugene. It just goes a little wide at this time.
God damn it. Okay, that's it. That's all I can really do.
Awesome. It is the phase go. 16 versus Aisling.
Yeah.
12 versus Skier.
No.
21 versus Rock.
Oh, yeah.
And a 4 versus Eugene.
No.
So those of you who got hit, you got hit for 5 points of damage. Next, at the end of the phase round, you hear a second roar, and Ivrenut breaks free of the temple, it collapsing around him as he breaks out from his prison beneath, roots still clinging to him and slowly dissolving away as he pushes out into the sky, stretching his beautiful and sharp metallic wings, and leaps into the sky to help Parshkik. From where you are standing, Parshkik is currently breathing a beam of radiant light into the edge of this giant creature. He has several scratches from where it has tried to strike back at him, and you can see sort of frost starting to form around his tail where he has hold of this creature, trying to grapple it at the same time. The ship with Eugene's family and Rock's friend gets close enough that they are able to hop off on ropes and things like that, and they immediately start heading towards the army of Twisted Fae. A tall, muscular figure in gleaming armor, bounding slightly ahead. And Eugene, from where you can see a very slim, silver-haired woman with hair, with features very much like yours, and a long rapier. It seems your mother has come as well.
Yes.
Mum saved the day.
There is a rocking.
Don't mess with mums.
Yeah, there's a rocking explosion as that dwarf you saw earlier. You can almost hear her cackling, tugging at her beard and throwing these huge pots of clay that burst into flame as they impact the ground near these fae. That will make it Skier's go.
Oh damn. Okay. Is there anything Skier can do to, like, Rock's been hit a couple of times where Skier could get in the way and take his hit?
I would let you use your action instead of dodging, interfering. So it would give that someone attacking Rock disadvantage. I technically you'd need to be a fighter, but I'll allow it for this. It's fine.
Then I'll use my action to do that. Stand in front of like Rock and hold my Yicklework out ready. And I don't think I can do anything with the bonus action. No, that's my turn. I'm just like ready.
You can make an offhand attack if you want to. You won't get your dex bonus on it, but you can still use your Yickwa.
You'll attack like us normal people.
I'll attack like normal people. -3.
No, you get your attack is normal. You just don't add it to your damage.
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
that
So
was
an
me
18 to
poorly
hit.
explaining. Yeah.
No, that's fine.
You say 18.
So yeah, 18 to hit, and
Hits.
then 10 points of damage.
Ooh. Did you just a dice roll with 10?
No, it was 6. So it'll be 8, I think.
No, it'd be 6
6
because you don't. Oh,
I get not my proficiency. I get to add 2, not from my proficiency, but from thrown weapons.
yes, that's right. So cool. Maths. So one of those goes down with no problem whatsoever, and thinning the herd even further. Aisling, your go. Sorry about that. I'm trying to keep track of all the monsters.
I am not surprised. Don't even worry about it. So is that hound that I hexed still alive?
Yes.
Or did it get exploded?
No, it's one of the ones that's still alive.
I'm still focused on that one, so I think I'm going to try and blast that one again.
Go for it.
Fucking roll it in real life. Okay, 17 to hit.
Will definitely hit.
Uh,
Roll your damage.
Ooh! 12 damage.
12 damage. Yeah, pop.
Mhm.
This thing shrieks and falls to the ground as it kind of leaping towards the door. And it's kind of pathetic, actually. It's leaping towards the door, and then your blast takes it, and it just kind of thuds uselessly and just lands before it.
Sucks. I'm gonna move my hex onto something that's nearer to us now, so the stuff that's crawling up.
Yeah.
And I'll try and second blast whatever I just moved my hex to.
You have to second blast first because both your attacks are an action, and then your bonus action is to move your hex.
Got ya.
Yeah.
No problem. All right. Well, I'll try and blast whoever's near us. Ooh, 24 to hit. Will it blend?
I think that will hit. Yeah, I feel like that's a hit. It wasn't a natural 20,
Okay,
was it?
cool. No. And that's 8 damage on that one.
That one explodes in a puff of light, as you have
Amazing.
seen a couple of times before.
In that case,
Amazing.
I'll use my bonus to move my hex to just something else near us. And can I...
You notice that the tall creatures are now in range, as are those cadaver sprites will be on you shortly.
Which one... Can I work out which one is going to get here quickest?
Definitely the sprites.
Okay. All right, I'll move my hex to the whichever sprite is at the front.
Yep. The keenest, hungriest one.
Yeah. And can I use my free action to just yell at Alabaster and ask where the hell he is?
I'm concentrating. Wait for it.
Ah! Okay, fine. Right. Oh. And I'm good.
I would like you to make a d20 roll and add your spell attack modifier for me.
Okay. 9 total.
Okay. Good to know.
Not ominous at all. Cool,
Nope.
cool.
No. Eugene, you are up.
Oh, that's right. It's me. Okay. There's lots of these flying things, right?
Absolutely. They're just a little out of the reach of your guy, but those tall, elemental-looking creatures are... Oddly enough, now you've seen it, they are definitely reflections of the Elder One. And there's 5 of them. They are getting close towards the city, but they're much more boff. They don't seem to be in a hurry.
So the immediate threat is the flying things.
Yeah.
Okay. I will ice knife at one of the corpse buried things.
Cool.
That's a dirty 20 to hit.
A dirty 20 will indeed hit.
So sorry.
No, you're fine. I am just calling up some things.
That's 7 piercing damage, and then the ice knife explodes, so everything within 5 feet needs to make a dex save, DC 15.
They fail.
Cool.
So you want to roll damage on that one?
Yeah.
Because they're not expecting it.
So that is 6 cold damage.
6 cold damage. You watch as Eugene throws his hand forward, and this knife of ice strikes the lead cadaver sprite, and the ones coming up behind it don't sort of react in time as it explodes, tearing it apart and shattering them with ice. Several of them go down.
Nice.
Creating this small hole for a second, which is then filled very quickly.
And then Shadow spirit, what will you do? So these big things, are they? How close are they to my guy on the ground?
He could intercept them, I think.
I think he has a 40-foot movement.
Yeah, he could definitely intercept them.
Ooh.
Okay. Okay, so he will just like roar up to them, and chilling hand, more menacing than I did it.
That was pretty menacing. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
That's 15 to hit.
15 will hit. Yes.
Okay. Plus 3, 9.
9 damage. Thank you.
Yeah. Cold damage.
Cold damage. Kind of watches as ice kind of takes over this thing and shatters. It is still standing, but it does seem to have taken some structural damage.
And that is my turn.
And that is your turn. The guards manage to get most of the Fae under control, clearing some space around you. Some of them do manage to take strikes at the 4 of you as they pull away. A 15 versus Aisling.
Yeah, meet the beats.
A 4 versus Rock.
No!
I took it though anyway.
Yeah,
Right?
no, that's right. So basically you pushed it off. That's I gave it disadvantage.
Oh, thank you.
22 versus Skier, though.
Ow.
And a 9 versus Eugene.
Does not hit.
Does not hit. So those of you that were hit take 5 damage.
Yes.
They are pushed away by the last few of the guards, giving you enough breathing space around you to collect your thoughts for a second and gather your wits. Rock, it is your go.
Okay, so first bonus action is I will Bardically Inspire Aisling. And then I want to just have a look in that moment of sort of space we've got. I want to have a look at what not necessarily the most immediate, but the biggest threat is that I think that I can see we are either about to face or is coming towards us. So like the big tall creatures, or is it a pack of the dog things or whatever? What is the biggest, the one that's going to do the most sort of damage, really?
Make me a quick insight check, please.
Sure. Oh, that's a good
By the way, I totally can't hear Wayne right now, so if he's saying something that I should know,
Oh, no, not
someone let me
again.
know.
Oh no.
Yep.
I can still hear him.
Yeah, I think it's you
It's
again,
even
Charlie.
got the little mute symbol next to your name.
That's really
That's
weird.
So weird. Hang on.
No, it's not Wayne. I think it's Charlie again.
Mhm.
Carry
Oh, yeah,
on with your go.
definitely.
Carry on with your go.
Yeah. So, oh yes, inside. Sorry, that was a 15.
15.
14. Sorry.
From where you are standing, you know that those elemental creatures are dangerous, and there's 5 of them. They are definitely the most dangerous and destructive of these Fey
Got it.
creatures.
Okay, so then I know what my action is.
Yeah.
So I am going to take out the slingshot that I have.
Yep.
And I am going to use the elemental gem that we picked up ages ago.
I love this.
And I am
Okay,
going
tell
to
me what just happened, because I didn't hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Wayne- We'll let Wayne finish his description, and then I will give you a full rundown, Charlie, I promise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why Charlie can't hear me? That's so annoying. So yes, I'm going to put the elemental gem in the slingshot, and I am going to aim it and shoot it so that it lands. The slingshot's got quite a range to it, so I want it to land kind of in front of them.
Cool.
So it's between us and them.
You will. Yeah, I will get you to make an attack roll just to hit. So you guys watch as Rock pulls out this slingshot that he specifically asked for. Kind of gives you a smirk, pulls out this big red gem that I think only Eugene recognizes, because Eugene was the only person who was there when Rock got it. puts it into the slingshot, pulls back, lets go. What did you roll, Wayne?
I rolled an 18.
This gem sails over Eugene's summoned creature, landing between two of these like big earthen creatures who just kind of look confused momentarily before it erupts and a huge fiery elemental appears between them.
Oh,
Yes, Wayne.
So,
So
as it
that's cool.
the first time that it enters a creature's space, so as it appears, that creature takes 1d10 fire damage.
Would you like to roll that for me?
So that's a 5.
Double that, because they are partially made of
Okay,
ice.
so that's 10.
Good to know.
Yeah, so that's 10 points of damage to whoever space he has entered.
He actually hits two of them
Yes.
because of where you
So that's
aimed.
10 points of damage each, and they are now light.
So you
So
kind of
they take 1d10 fire damage, or if they're susceptible, I don't know if they take 2d10 fire damage at the start of each of their turns.
no. Basically, when you roll the damage, they'll just double whatever you take because they're susceptible. So you watch as these things kind of burst of fire, and kind of some of the ice melts off of them, and then you watch as some of the roots that make up their part of their body just kind of start to burn, and they kind of shriek and try and pull away from this thing that is their natural enemy. At the end, is there anything else you wanted to go? You did a bardic inspiration as well, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm just
Ashley
checking on.
has-
So the elemental, will that go on my turn?
It will go after your turn. Yeah, that's how we do it. Just so you know, Charlie, you have a bardic inspiration as well, which is a D8 to add to a dice roll.
thank you.
No worries. Cool. What would you like your fire elemental to do?
Well, if it goes after me, yeah. So let me just check. So yeah, it can take a touch attack. Oh, and it has multi-attack, so it makes 2 attacks.
Perfect.
So it's going to attack both of the two creatures near it. So let's see. So one is a 17 plus 6, 23,
Will definitely hit.
and one is an 18.
Also hits.
Okay, and that's 2d6 plus 3. 2 and 2 is 4 plus 3, so it's 7 points of damage on the first,
Yep.
and 3. Oh, and 5 is 8, 9, 10, and 11 points of damage on the second.
Nice. So they're both still standing, but you can see that they are not looking good already. This was exactly the right thing to hold on for this moment. You guys, from where you're standing, you see this elemental explode from the ground, this little red gem that two of you didn't even know Rock had, and this just reaches out and just smashes into one of these creatures and then smashes into the other. They shriek with this horrible sound that you have heard before and just pull back as both of them on fire, both of them trying to just recover and recoil as they are attacked by something they did not expect to see.
I think Eugene kind of looks around, back over his shoulder, and is like, "Rock, that was really smart."
Well, I've been keeping it for a while. I thought we may as well try it.
I mean, yeah, that now is the time.
Oh, good. Well, see, I've learned from you.
Amazing. Top of the round, there is a bellowing shriek, and you see that Ivrenut is being caught by this creature by the throat. Parshkik is coming around for a flying attack, and as the steel dragon is desperately trying to claw away and pull this thing off of him as ice begins to creep over his body. There is a thunderous explosion, and as it's about to kind of strike a blow, it kind of twists its head like this as a cannonball strikes it straight in the temple. Over its shoulder, speeding just out of its reach, is an elegant, quick-looking vessel made of the deepest red wood. Beautiful colours and beautiful harpies are painted along the side in bright blue colours and gilt. On it says, Julie Deschamps' Wonderful Carnival of Extreme Oddities. On top of it are several very strange looking beings. You see a minotaur with what can only be described as a flamethrower, just kind of doing this. There is two, you can see from where you are, you can see two wonderful little gnomes jumping off of each other and flipping each other into the sky, where they're kind of getting out knives and just stabbing these strange little pixie creatures as they come past. And at the front of the prow is a elegant tiefling woman dressed in the most buccaneer outfit you have ever seen. Gilded, beautiful like silk work all the way through, with what can only be described as a shit-eating grin, waving her hat at the lot of you as it gets closer.
I think Rock will look up and for a moment will be like, oh yes, and then we'll go, it's about time. God damn it, I called them ages ago.
Next go.
Can I, real quick, refresh mine so I can start hearing Wayne again?
Absolutely. If you want to do that, I will start the top of the round because it's skiers go. There are still fail on the, but they are contained at the moment. There are still some coming down up over the wall. There's less than there used to be. There is the problem with the cadaver sprites because they have a tendency to stay out of reach, and you can about hit those god awful nasty creatures from before.
Okay, I think Ski is gonna use her crossbow to attack the pixies, and then use her Yickle word to either attack whatever's up near us or like whatever's like the biggest threat down below.
Perfect.
Hi,
Yeah.
Charlie.
Okay.
Hi, I can hear you now.
Excellent. Very weird. Roll some dice. Roll some dice.
Oh, that's a 25 to hit the pixies.
Skiers, all you missed was that Skier's about to fuck shit up.
Shocker.
Roll me a d6
Oh.
and add 2.
Roll a 1. So 3.
You skier skewers 3 sprites.
Oh, this is a fun game.
Say that 10 times quickly.
That is a good game.
Oh no, you've made it a game for Skier now. She's like, oh, I can get more.
Yeah.
And then I'll make a Yickle attack at making sure nothing hurts us closer because the range is not as good. 12?
12 beats is beats. So yes, you hit.
11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. Pop! Another one of those things disappears in a puff of bright light. Behind it, there's this guard who's like this and kind of.
And Ski immediately spins around, like loads the bolt, and is like already starting to like try and line up like 6.
Amazing. At the end of your turn, because you're kind of a bit more aware of the general thing, you kind of see a familiar blue burst of blue energy coming from the west, and a huge clock face which seems to go backwards for a second. And you just kind of, because you haven't really seen what's going on because they're too far away, but it's the first indication that they're definitely engaged on that side as well. They're doing stuff. So
Okay. Does that fill Ski with dread, or is it like They're doing that thing. They're fighting. They're okay.
I mean, he's a bit of a show-off, and this is a
Yeah.
good opportunity for him to just show how powerful he really is. So
Yeah, he's having fun. So he's obviously not in that much danger.
I think one of them would probably come and let you know if they were in trouble, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're able
She's
to.
remembering to try and skewer as many pixies as she can and make sure she takes it back. Be like,
Awesome. That would make it Ashling's go.
Cool. I'm guessing one of the pixies that was hexed has now been put on a kebab.
Yes. I think, in fact, that was probably one of the ones that got exploded before.
Cool. Can I bonus action move it to a different one then and
Yeah, either
try and
that.
get rid of some of these pixies?
Yep. You can also reach these shards of the Elder One as well from where you are. They're close enough now.
Oh dang. Okay.
Although one of them is definitely, a couple of them are definitely on fire.
Yeah, and I like the look of the ones that are on fire. Okay, I'll move my hex onto one of those then, one of the on fire ones,
Yep.
and give it a good old fashioned Christian blast. 16 to hit.
16
The first
will
one?
hit, yeah.
Nice. Only 4 damage on that one.
4 damage. Okay, no worries.
Oh wait, no, I've
And then add your
it,
hex.
so-
Yeah.
yeah. Which I need to remember what I add for the hex. It's another
It's a
6.
D6.
D6, which is a 6. Nice.
Oh, yes!
yeah.
Sorry, what was that in total again?
Oh, I can't remember. Anyone else remember?
4, and then you rolled a 6.
Six.
6, so that's
10.
10 in total.
Okay, yes, cool.
Cool.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was doing 2 things at once and wasn't fully listening. My fault.
Why do we
Sorry.
enjoy a game that involves so much maths?
No,
Ew. Bobber. Sorry.
that's all right.
Well,
She's
we
excited
yelling.
for you. That's all.
It is.
Can you? Do you want to make your second attack against the same creature? It is still standing.
Yes, please. 19 to hit.
19 to hit. That will indeed hit.
Okay, cool. Ooh. That's 11 without the hex. Do I roll hex again, or is it just the one?
No, it's on each of your attacks. So yeah,
Okay, cool. 11 plus 2, so 13 damage on that one.
13 damage. That's why it doesn't stack, is because it's on each of your attacks, which is really nice for.
Yeah, I like that.
So, yep. This thing. Describe how you blow this thing up.
Ooh, delicious. I feel like because it's already on fire, I kind of want it to split apart, like when volcanoes start to go, like when they get a bit crackly and weird, and then the earth starts to like fall off of them.
So you guys watch as Aisling kind of whispers something, pushes her hand forward, and there's kind of that dark energy kind of surrounds this thing, and then 2 blasts of this strange pale energy leap from her hand. One of them striking into the left and the right. The body cracks and just molten, just like falls to the feet at this fire elemental, which just stands on it.
Oh, brutal.
So cool.
That will make it Eugene's go.
Okay. So how many of these elemental things are there? So there's one on fire, currently on fire.
4.
One of them's on
There's 3
fire,
more.
yeah, there, and there's 3 more that haven't been damaged yet.
Okay, how far away are they?
All about equidistant, so you'd probably say about 40 feet by now
Cool.
from where
That's
you
too
guys
close.
Okay. I will firebolt one of the ones that is not on fire.
are. Good plan.
Seeing that, like, Wayne used the Rock used the fire spell, and it like seemed to really hurt it. So he's like, fire. That is a 16 to hit.
16 will hit.
And It's 20. I rolled 2 10s.
Oh my
20
god!
fire damage.
Jesus Christ!
That's
So that was
delicious.
20 in total.
Yeah, 20 damage.
Yeah, you just obliterate this thing. Do you want to describe your kill?
Damn.
So you see
One hit.
the purple like energy circle like open when it's familiar to you guys when Eugene casts a spell, and just like this purple ball of fire comes through it and just slams into this elemental, just completely engulfing it in flame.
There's this slight comedy moment as this thing looks up at this purple circle and doesn't get a chance to move, as this thing just crushes it to the ground, leaving a steaming pile of earth on the floor. I think, Eugene, you're probably slightly taken aback by...
Yeah. 2d10 damage. I
Fiona.
rolled 2 10s. When does that ever happen?
I think Ashley's going to turn around and be like, all right, Eugene.
I think
Bloody hell.
just out of just a little bit further away, you can see your family fighting down a lot of these other creatures and things like that. There's a treant come out and it's currently on fire where your dwarven uncle has thrown things. You'll see Uncle Perb with them now shooting electricity and different things. And just as that happens, you kind of see your mother and father both look your way, like instinctually. And then there's this kind of like moment between the two of them, and he just puts his sword up and goes back to what he's doing. You can't tell from here because he's a little far away, but you're fairly certain he's grinning like he normally does. The guards push away the last few of them, giving you the clear space. Only thing that probably is a big threat now are the lampads, as you see this claw now appearing on a regular basis, kind of grabbing as many of these sprites as possible. And from where you are now, you can see there is a handsome tabaxi in like silk shirt and loose breeches, who's playing songs and just kind of really concentrating on trying to keep things under control. You believe that things are beginning to turn. Rock, what would you like to do in your turn?
Is there anything that we can do from here to help what's going on with the big fight?
You would probably need to move closer or contact your allies to go closer and use what skills they've got to help.
And what is around us still to attack?
There are these tall elemental beings. There are still enough. There are enough corpse sprites to keep Skier entertained for about an hour.
Okay, so what I will do is, and you said how far away are those the elemental creatures?
They're within 40 feet now. For some reason, you've muted for me now.
Hang on.
Is that you?
Is that back?
Yeah, that's back.
Yeah, that was me. So I'll just use my pistol to try and hit one of the elementals. Because I can do that with a pistol. So that would be 21 to hit.
21 will hit.
And a 10, and 10 points of damage from the pistol.
10 points of damage. Nice. Is this the one that's on fire, or?
Yeah, the one that's on fire.
Yep. It's still standing, but it's not looking healthy.
Cool. So that would be the...
Your elemental
that would be my my attack. And then Skier used her bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
So I will re-bardically inspire Skier, as I have one left. Cool. And then my elementals go. Fire elemental is going to try and attack two of them.
Okay. You might need to move to hit the
Yeah.
Because it's got one that's left on its own at the moment, and the other two are a little
blimey.
further away.
Yeah, well, it's got a speed of 50 feet.
Okay.
So,
So if you guys play Dragon Age, you've seen those sort of spirits, the way they kind of
Yeah.
move. Its fire elemental just rolls across the ground, leaving like a little patch of cinder behind it.
so that is a 16 to hit.
That will hit.
Cool. And then the second hit, is a 15 to hit.
Will also hit.
Awesome. And that is a 2d6 plus 3 on each of those. So the first one takes 12 damage.
Did you double that already?
Oh, no.
I'll do that. 24.
Fuck. Sorry. And the second one is 6. Oh my god, I rolled 2 6s. So that's 12 plus 3 is 15.
30.
It's 30.
So they're both standing, but not looking great at all. And sir, I mean, sir.
Wow, I am so glad I forgot about this gem until the other day.
Oh dear, that's so
I
good.
forgot to. I used my shadowy guy.
Do you want to do a quick
Oh my-
attack now? There's still a flaming. You can go beforehand.
Okay.
Do it.
Yeah, we'll just do chilling hand again,
Yeah. Okay.
which is 8 plus 7. 15 to hit.
15
yeah,
will
15.
hit. Yeah.
So that's 1d12. 17 points of cold damage.
It is enough. Describe how this thing kills this one that's on fire, by the way.
With cold.
I think it's like that thing where like molten lava, when it freezes really quickly, it like cracks and
Turns
breaks.
into onyx.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
like
cool.
kind of you see this like shadowy
Yeah.
thing like kind of grow a little bit, and it like pulls it in half.
I mean, normally these things would be resistant, but because of the sheer damage and the way that you've kind of heated it up, and then it just shatters explosively.
Nice.
That's so cool. Only 2 of them remaining and looking really rough. At the end of your go, I would like everybody to make a dexterity saving throw.
Do you get to use inspiration on saving throws?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good, because my dex.
You might want to wait to see what it is before you use your
Oh, I'm gonna.
inspiration. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, no, that's fine. I don't need it.
Okay. Who got below a 15?
What did I just roll? Hang on, I rolled digitally and now I can't even find it.
I rolled a 1.
Oh, mate.
Oh no!
Oh, mate.
So
Okay.
I got a 7.
You got 7. So Rock, you take 10 bludgeoning damage. Eugene, you take 15 bludgeoning damage, and the other 2 of you take 5 bludgeoning damage as the form of a huge dragon is slammed into the side of the city.
Whoa.
You watch below. You manage to kind of shake yourself off and roll to the floor. You are now outside of the city walls, right next to a very hurt-looking Ivrenut. As you watch in horror, this creature reaches out and ice spikes the size of like cattle just kind of burst. So bad description there. Huge ice spikes, the length of a human being, if not longer, burst from the ground, coming straight towards you. You try to scramble out of the way, and suddenly there is a movement, and a huge form stands beside you. You all feel the warmth of dragon blood fall on you, and you look up to see Parshkik skewered against this creature. The ice falls, and he falls back, and he collapses to the ground. There is an angry roar. You watch as this creature, this elder one, turns on its heel, batting off these explosives and movements, bits of it crumbling off of the island. There is a momentary break where you are all standing looking at each other in horror. And Ivrenut, sorry, I think we just lost Wayne. Ivrenut growls, "Get on! That thing dies today."
What?
Get on.
He lifts down his wing.
Let's go.
You all have enough room behind his head for you to sit. This is how big this creature is, and the spines. When you're in there, you can from a distance. You're like, "Oh, how are we ever going to be able to self safely and hold on to the underside?" With a thunderous leap, he pushes off from the ground. Soaring above and beyond the city into the night sky, closing distance. When I say we all open fire together. And
Okay.